So what's the first thing we do if we're going to take a limit? So the limit as x approaches 3 of 2x plus 3 over x minus 3. What do you do first? Plug it in. So I'm going to plug in x equals 3, see what I get. If I get a number, I'm done. 2 times 3 plus 3 over 3 minus 3, which is 9 over 0. What does 9 over 0 say? 9 divided by 0? 9? 0? We've got to have something, right? How quickly we forget. See, 9 divided by 0. It says I can't divide by 0. So if I can't divide by 0, what do we always call it? Undefined. It doesn't say it does not exist. It's undefined, and undefined has a meaning. And we'll see that shortly. Now, here's another one. Plug it in, plug it in. So I'm going to get 9 minus 3 squared over 3 minus 3. Now I have 0 over 0. Uh-oh. What do I need to do? 0 over 0 says? No. 0 over 0 says? Begins with an A. Algebra. I don't know. Need more info. Well, if I'm going to use algebra, I'm going to take this guy. I'm going to remove a negative. I've got to have everybody going, well, I'm going to go ahead and put the step in. This x starts first, so I'm going to put x first. Now I can factor out a negative 1. So this is x squared minus 9 over x minus 3, which is negative 1 times, that's a difference of squares, x minus 3, x plus 3 over x minus 3. The x minus 3's reduce out. It should. If you get a 0 over 0 form, you've got to do something. There is a common factor between the numerator and the denominator. They have something in common, so you're going to be able to reduce it out. So this is going to turn into negative 1 times x plus 3. Now, the stipulation is x can't be 3. Why? Because I removed it. I removed the problem. The original problem has a domain issue. The domain issue is x can't be 3. That's the original problem. So now what I do, now I can take the limit as x approaches 3 of minus 1 times x plus 3. And now what do? Plug it in, which is minus 1 times 3 plus 3, which is minus 6. It does have a limit. The limit is minus 6. What you actually have going on is this. You have a line, it's got negative slope, it's got a hole in it where I remove the problem, and it happens to be at x equals 3. So we're coming from both directions, and we're essentially almost meeting at the hole. We think we're headed to the hole. The value at that hole is y equals 6, negative. That's what's happening. That's the graph that you'll see. Okay, here we go. Plug it in, plug it in. Square root of 9 minus 3 over 9 minus 9 is 0 over 0. So now we know it screams the word algebra. And the next question is, what algebra do I need to do? It says the numerator, by the way, some of you can be cutesy and factor it as though it were the difference of squares. And I'll kind of show you that. But most of you aren't cutesy. You're not there, let's put it that way. You're here. Well, no, I don't want to get myself into trouble. Okay. Well, I know that the numerator and denominator have something in common. They have a common factor. And the question is, how do I get at it? I need to do some algebra, and the algebra I'm going to use is I'm going to put this over here on this side. Rationalize the numerator. Numerator has a radical in it, so I'm going to multiply by its conjugate. The conjugate of that numerator is the square root of x plus 3, but what I do to the numerator I must do to the denominator, because this is not an equation, it's an expression. It's a fraction. The denominator becomes x minus 9 times the square root of x plus 3. The numerator, x times x, is a square root of x squared, or just x, minus 3 square roots of x, plus 3 square roots of x, that's 0. Minus 3 times plus 3 is minus 9. There's your common factor right there. X minus 9's reduce out, leaves a 1 in that numerator. So this becomes 1 over the square root of x plus 3. Now in this case, of course, because I've divided the problem out, x can't be 9. It can be anything other than 9. Now you can see if I plug 9 in, will I get an answer? If I plug 9 into this guy, will I get a number out? Well, then let's see. Yeah. So I'm going to take the limit as x goes to 9 of 1 over the square root of x plus 3 plug it in, 1 over the square root of 9 plus 3, which is 1 over 3 plus 3, or 1 over 6. Again, I've created a hole in the graph, and that's the y value at that hole.